All right, y'all. Let's take a dive, shall we? I'm laying down, and I figure while I'm laying down, we might as well get some work accomplished. Okay? So, we're going to talk about this is the book from the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know. And this is called the Smith and Doe, which are the authors of the book. They have done extensive research. They've been men their entire lives. They've interviewed many men. They've observed many men over a period of however many years it took to gather enough information to get this book. They've witnessed things that we have not witnessed as women because they act a certain way in front of us, and a different way they're going to be real in front of other men. So all of this is, they're two men, okay, that are telling you, they're letting you into the boys club so you can see how things really go down. So this is going to be a fidelity test. And I'm going to need you guys, once I start writing questions down, I'm going to need you all to not write the questions down, but to write the number that suits your situation. And I guess you're going to total the numbers at the end is what I'm thinking. But we're not going to do all the questions today because there's a ton of questions. So, okay. So this is the fidelity test. Does your man cheat? Does he lie? Smith and Doe, no. All right. To begin with, every woman exists in one of the following conditions with respect to her man. Condition green. As rare as the Hope Diamond, this is the condition in which you have never had the slightest reason to fear that your man has lied to you, cheated on you, stolen from you, impregnated your best friend, or lusted after your sister. This is a blissful state. Unfortunately, it's usually attained only by women with room temperature IQs. Yellow alert, the state in which every woman should exist with her weapons armed but holstered. You know, if only from Smith and Doe, that your man is going to do something terrible if you don't keep your eyes peeled. Everything is suspect. Trust nothing and no one. Question everything. Paranoia is the status quo. Red alert. Your man is a hoe-loving, eye-roving, disease-carrying, lie-producing, filth-ridden, sperm-depleted bastard who will, in a matter of minutes, desperately wish you had never heard the name Smith and Doe. You probably feel or have felt in your heart of hearts that he's either lied to you or cheated on you or is about to or is planning to or is about to plan to or is covering up or is planning to cover up something awful. You are usually right about these suspicions. It's just a question of whether your man is smart enough to confuse you. See first a word and deny, 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 which is previous chapters. In this informed condition, usually attained by the wisest of females, you must either A, immediately put your man on notice that you know his game and are wise to his dealings, or B, boot him out of your life right now. What conditions should you be in? With laboratory precision, Smith and Doe have created the following definitive test. This test is the result of thousands of hours of painstaking interviews with and observations of men, paid volunteers, administered under the influence of sodium pentothal, which, of course, that's humorous. Of course, they did not do that, but they throw a little humor in there. In order to adequately analyze your plight, and if you're involved with a man, it is a plight, you must answer the following questions honestly. Do not kid yourself. Think each question through. In giving your answers, keep in mind, and this is in gigantic print, bold print, only trust what you know firsthand, that which you've seen with your very own eyes. Never mistake trust for truth. In other words, just because you trust him does not mean, that what you see is the truth. You might trust blindly and think that all men are good, and if they say they love you, they do. I love you are the three most abused words in the English language. These men who are toxic will say I love you and they don't mean any of it. They just want your legs open. Come on, we ain't stupid. We ain't stupid. Okay, so here is the questions. I don't know how this is going to work. In other words, I'm going to give you the questions and you could write the numbers down. You could put number 1 and then put period and then put the number 2, period, the number. This way you don't have to write all the questions because, my God, that will take the rest of our lifetime because there's a lot of questions. We're going to do up to 29 questions tonight and then we'll finish because it's just a lot. Right? So you're going to do number 1, period, and then the number. Okay? We good with that? We good with that? All right. Do you know, question number 1, remember you're going to put a number in the box and you'll know what number after I do the question, okay? Do you know the retrieval code for your man's answering machine? If no, put 2 in the box. Most people don't have an answering machine anymore. If it applies to you, then by all means. But if it doesn't apply, just put 2, the number 2 down. Number 2, question number 2. Does your man play his answering machine messages in front of you if he has an answering machine? If no, put 2 in the box. Number 3. If he does play his messages in front of you, has he ever lowered the volume or stopped it in the middle of a message from a female you've never heard of? If yes, put 5 in the box. Smith and Doe say a man who has the gall to stop a message in front of you is a man who will do many worse things behind your back. Color us surprised, not. Number 4. Does your man claim to be disgusted by the concept of prostitutes? If so, put 1 in the box. Any man who claims to be disgusted by prostitutes is a man who can lie to you with a straight face. Number 5. If he's not disgusted, does your man admit to having partaken of prostitutes in the past? If so, put a 5 in the box. I'm saying in the box, but you would just put the number next to the number of the question. You don't have to put a box. You know what I mean? This is just how the format is in the actual book. If your man, Smith and Doe say, if your man admits to having more than one prostitute in his past, he probably had hundreds and will have many more in the future. Smith and Doe also say 97% of men anonymously admit to sexual relations with prostitutes, yet if you ask men face to face, they are horrified by the concept. Number 6. Did your man contribute to the Heidi Fleiss Defense Fund? If yes, put a 5 down. Number 7. Some of these are comical, right? The Heidi Fleiss Defense Fund. Come on. Number 7. Does he claim to be uninterested in pictures in Penthouse and or Playboy? If he says he doesn't care about them, put a 1 down. Smith and Doe say this type of man will ignore the pictures until he's alone in the bathroom, at which point he will masturbate to them. This type of man has eyes that are roving. Number 8. Does your man tell you that you aren't spiritual enough, that you don't understand the concept of forgiveness? If so, put a 2 down. Number 2. Smith and Doe say, a man who equates your spirituality with forgiveness is a man who anticipates needing it. Number 9. Does he chat it up with pretty girls at parties? If so, put a 2 down. Smith and Doe say, although he'd never admit it, your man wants to have sex with these girls. Okay? Smith and Doe, and this is my interjection from previous videos, or previous chapters in this book from Smith and Doe. Because a man is obsessed with sex, because he has to feed his enormous ego, not because his sex drive is so high he's about to pass out if he don't stick it somewhere. That's a load of fucking bullshit. That is what they tell women so that you will give them some sympathy behind. All right? Don't fall for it. Ain't got nothing to do with that. It has to do with he needs to look good in front of his guy friends. He's got to feed his enormous ego. He has to feel like he's king of the world by poking things. That's just their nature. And in their mind, they have poked your mama if she looks good, your sister, your gay best friend, someone you went to college with that he met. In his mind, he done stuck it in every one of them because that's just how they are. Now, if they have discipline and self-control and manners and respect, they will never talk about it, hint about it, joke about it. Your mom bent over and put that roast in the oven and that butt of her. I'm sorry. What was I saying? You know what I'm saying? If he's brazen enough to say that in front of you, girl, he done did your mom all kind of ways. If she looks good, got a cute little figure on her, he done bent her backwards, flipped her upside down, and everything else in his mind. These men are something else, okay? They are a piece of work. Number 10, does he extol the virtues of a single woman he recently met and said, we should set her up with someone? If so, write down number 2. If you weren't around, your man would be dating this girl, is what Smith and Doe are telling you. Okay. Number 11, does he keep an eye on you when you are on the other side of the room at parties? If so, put down number 1. Smith and Doe say your man knows what he's thinking. And he's worried that you are thinking the same way. Men, in their infinite wisdom, are always on yellow alert. Always looking for you to do something that they would have gladly done with someone. Number 12. Did your man love the First Wives Club? If so, put a 3 down. Smith and Doe say a man who loves seeing nasty men get their due is a man who has done nothing nasty to get his. Interesting. Number 13, does he exhibit a sudden interest in television when Sally Jesse Raphael has an episode involving teenage sex addicts? If so, put a number 1 down. That show's not even in existence anymore. That shows you how long, old this book is. Number 14, have you ever found a discrepancy between what he's told you and what is actually in his Filofax, date book, or diary? If so, put a 3 down. I don't know if there's many men who have a diary, but if it doesn't apply to you, then you don't have to put any number down, I would assume. Number 15, have you ever caught him actually corroborating a lie in his Filofax, date book, or diary? If so, put a 5 down. A man who lies to his Filofax is a man who can justify anything. Number 16, have you ever admitted to infidelity only to find that he seems understanding? If so, put a number 10 in the box. Smith and Doe say, end it now. A man who accepts your infidelity is weighing it against his own past, present, and future infidelities. Number 17, has he ever said he's going to dinner with a profession instead of a person? Example, a lawyer, a banker, etc. If so, put a number 2 down. Smith and Doe say a man who dines with a profession is a man who is probably dining in a motel. So basically what they're saying is they're not really giving you, your man is giving you a vague description of who he's having a meeting with, a lawyer, a banker, or this or that. They don't want to give you too much details because they don't want you to know that they're doing something shady, potentially. Number 18. Has your man wanted to try something sexually new and yet seemed surprisingly experienced at it? Put a number 3 down. Your man has been taught by someone and it wasn't you, and he didn't get it from the local library archives. Number 19. Has your girlfriend, whom you suspect your man finds attractive, ever told you how lucky you are to have him? If so, make a mental note, but don't put anything in the box. Smith and Doe say this isn't your man's fault, but he warned her that if he's ever alone with this girl, he will most likely cheat with her. Never leave them alone, particularly if alcohol is involved. Number 20. Has your man suddenly found a male friend who needs his support? If so, put a 1 down. Smith and Doe say a man who needs your man's support is most likely a woman. There's caveats to that. Believe it or not, this is my interjection. I've seen this firsthand. Men are extremely needy of their male friends. I did not know that, but I have a friend who has a guy friend who his marriage has been very bumpy. A lot of it is his own fault, which he's not going to tell you is his fault, honey. Okay. He's going to act like a victim. He's going to do stupid shit. And he has done stupid shit, acted like the victim. And then other friends that know both of them said, no, 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 no. There's a lot to that story. He's not telling you. And this is what they told my friend. So my friend went and told him, like, yeah, you said that your wife is this, that, and the other, but you didn't say that you're not really treating her with respect either. Well, and the more his marriage is on the rocks, which is 99.9% of his fault. A lot of it's his fault. He's not going to tell you that though. He's going to perpetrate victim because that's what men do a lot of times. But he's disabled and his wife takes care of him. She does everything for him. She hurt her shoulder lifting up his wheelchair to put it in a vehicle and everything else because they can't afford a ramp and a van and all this. She busts her ass to help him. And he likes to cheat on her or try to cheat on her on his phone with these women. And it's just asinine and stupid. These girls out here, these women out here, they ain't going to do half of what your wife is doing. You're acting retarded. That's what I want to tell him. But when him and his wife were really going through it, he was calling my guy friend every day. Almost every single freaking day. I did not know men do that. That's usually a woman thing, calling her female friends. Girl, we going through it again. He's driving me crazy and I think he's cheating on me. And women could stay on the phone for hours. I did not know men also can do that. So it's not always a woman that your man's cheating with. It could be another guy. Guys are real needy when they're having problems in their relationship or they're desperate for a woman in their life. And I don't mean women as in plural, but they're just really lonely and they feel, some men, not many, okay? Let's get that straight, not many. Some men do appreciate the closeness and the connection with another person. They don't see any value in bumping uglies with strangers or women that you just met in a bar. I mean, smart men know that that's an empty life. So if they're extremely lonely and they don't have a partner yet, they'll call the guy friend all the time and, oh, I thought we were going to, complain. I met this girl and it didn't work out and I don't know what's going on. She didn't call me back or she said this or that or blah, 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 blah. So there are some men who are needy and they will constantly call your guy friend or your whoever, your brother or whoever that they're tight with, and guys will cry, bitch, and moan about the women in their lives or the lack of women in their lives. 3 of my guy friends do that, call him all the time. And I know when one of them, the one that's disabled, I know when he's having problems with his wife because he will call my friend all the time, text him all the time, call him 5 o'clock in the morning, crying, bitching, and moaning. It's like, you are causing your own problems because if your wife dumps your ass, good luck finding a woman who will do half of what your wife does for you. Don't even get me started on that conversation. You really don't want to go there. Let's see here. Number 21, has your man ever claimed to have called you all over town and happened to miss you at each location by seconds? If so, put a 2 down. Smith and Dose, a man who barely misses you by the phone is a man who has no intention of reaching you by the phone. How convenient. Number 22. Has your man ever taken a shower or jumped in the pool directly after coming home from a night with the guys? If so, put a 5 down. Smith and Dose, a man who needs to be cleaned up late at night is a guilty man. Number 23. Is there a locked area in your house that only your man can access? If so, put a 3 down. A man who hides something physically is a man who will hide much more emotionally. Let me go ahead and interject with this also. I talked about this. There was a man who's married with kids, and he's a whore for men. He's married to a woman, and he's a whore for men. He works from home. He brings all his male lovers to the house. Downstairs is his man cave. That is where he bangs all his lovers, male lovers. They have toys down there. In fact, he forgot a toy down there, and his wife could have easily found it, or one of the kids could have easily found it. And he's so proud of himself. There's a show, I don't remember the name of it. It's a show on YouTube that you could call anonymously and just express whatever super private stuff. You don't use your name or any personal information, so nobody knows who you are. But he bangs the hell out of men in his house. Oh shit, my screen just did something weird. He bangs men in his house all the time. Oh, something just went wrong on my screen again. I'm sorry, guys. What the frick? Stop, stupid. Sorry, guys. My screen went whack. My screen went whack-a-doo. Anyway, sorry about that. He's not ashamed of what he's doing. He's not embarrassed about it. He's not upset about it. In fact, he sounds very bold. Very bold. Very, very, very bold. Oh, yeah, and we have so much fun, and we do role play, and this, that, and anything, and everything, and da. There's not one split second of remorse in that man's voice. He's so proud that he's getting away with this. His time is coming. That reminded me of that when it said, is there a locked area in your house that only your man can access? Although the basement's not locked, but that's his personal space, and everybody pretty much leaves him to it. But it reminded me of that. All right. Does your man have a safe deposit box you do not have access to? If so, put a 1 down. Number 25. Ask for his email password. If he gives it to you without question, put a 3 down. If he refuses, put a 3. Oh, okay. Let me do this again. Ask for his email password. If he gives it to you without question, put a -3 down. If he gives it to you. If he refuses, put a 3 down. So put a -3 if he gives it to you without problems. If he doesn't want to give you his password, put a 3 down. Email is technology's gift to underhanded men, now enabled to hit on women in different countries from the comfort of your bedroom. That's a Smith and Doe comment. Number 26, is your husband clergy? If so, put a -5 down. Number 27, if he's clergy but seems to spend an excessive amount of time counseling widows and divorcees, put a 10 down. Right? Number 28. Do you suspect your man masturbates more than twice a week? If so, put a 3 down. Smith and Dose, a man who masturbates often is a man who is not sexually satisfied and will eventually seek help from others besides his own hand. Number 29. If he does not masturbate that much, does he spend a suspicious amount of time in the bathroom or outside the bedroom doing some business stuff? If so, put a 5 down. Smith and Dose, your man masturbates a lot more than you think. And on top of that, he lies to you about it. Okay. Let's take it up to number 30. We might as well make it a round number. All right, let me see here. I've got a magnetic bookmarker, which I like. It's leather. Very inexpensive on Amazon. I like it. Number 30. Does your man seem to have a plethora of platonic quotation marks girlfriends who he claims you would love? If so, put a 4 down. Smith and Doe say a man who has a lot of so-called platonic girlfriends and attempts to disarm you by telling you how great they are as friends is a brilliant, scheming cheater who has you right where he wants you. Okay? So that's all we're gonna do. Hold on to those numbers, because I'm sure you're gonna need them eventually. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to interject another thing, too. If anyone that you're seeing, and I've been through this, yeah. If anyone you're seeing will see you for a few months, for example, because I've been through that, right? And there's something really important that they don't tell you until a couple months in. That's somebody who is lying by omission because they should have told you that from the start. So the one who did that to me, we were seeing each other for a few months. It was not a relationship. It was a manipulationship. I just didn't know it at the time. Boy, did I find out. He's a lying sack of shit. But anyway, drops a bomb after we've been seeing each other for a few months that he is bisexual. And he never should have waited that long. And I should have really dropped him then. That's lies by omission, which is still lying. Okay? You don't wait to tell somebody that. You tell them that pretty much up close and personal. You tell them that in the beginning. In other words, you don't tell somebody another lie by omission. You don't tell somebody that you're, what is it? When you're seeing multiple people. I forget what it's called. Polyamory, I believe. You don't tell them that until months in. Or a month in, or 2 months, 3 months in. Why would you be secretive about that? Whoever you're dealing with, you should be open with them. You know, there's something I need to tell you. I noticed that we like each other. I noticed that we're dating on a regular basis. So I want to be honest with you and let you know, before we go any further, this is what's going on with me. That's what an honest person does. Okay. Now, with that being said, when I was stupid and I was on dating sites, not realizing that everybody on there, with the exception of 1 percentile, everybody on there is trying to get some extra booty because most of them already are in a serious relationship or are married or are gay, trying to pretend they're straight so their family shuts up about, you're not dating, what's going on? Oh, the list goes on and on with the bullshit clowns on there. Anyway, I used to be honest and tell people that I have a disability. Well, I stopped telling them because they get judgmental. I don't need to tell you something that's going to make you judge me and you don't even know me yet. So I don't consider that lying by omission. I'm trying to prevent you from judging me. Now, if you find out and I really don't have to tell you anyway, because it's not going to impact your life. I take care of myself. I don't need a swinging meat to take care of me, because they don't want to do nothing but drop their pants to their ankles. That's not going to help a person who has chronic pain. It's not going to help a person with chronic pain. Okay. So there's no point in me telling them anyway, but eventually I would tell them. But because people get all funkified and they find out that you have that and they want to run off, I'll stop telling you because you acted stupid. Okay? You acted totally stupid. And they are assuming a lot. Assume means you're making an ass of you and me. Not making an ass of me, making an ass of themselves, because you're presuming and assuming that I need you to take care of me. I took care of me before I met your ass. I'll take care of me after I dump your ass. So don't even fill yourself up with that stupidness. Oh, so let me just tell you this real quick. So this one stupid ass, we were going to go out. He was married before, and this and that and the other. And we talked a couple times, and we had a date set up, I believe. We talked about meeting, going on a date, whatever. And then I dropped a bomb on him, and I said, well, I just want to be honest with you. And this is before I decided to quit telling people. But I told him, well, just to let you know, I have a disability, but I take care of myself. I don't rely on other people to take care of me and that kind of thing. And he hung up in my face. See what I'm saying? See what I mean? Women are a lot more forgiving of that. I know people on YouTube that share their relationship from start to finish. And not really finished. They're still sharing their relationship. He's in a wheelchair. She's not. She did not say, hey, fuck that. You're in a wheelchair. I'm out. That's a man fucking thing. That's a fucking man thing. Women are a lot more understanding when a man has an issue. I know another guy. His name is Brian. He had a terrible motorcycle accident. Somebody hit him. It was car versus motorcycle. And he came out on the raw end of the deal. And he's paralyzed from now until forever, unless they have some kind of medical miracle, whatever, something. He's paralyzed. He was dating his girl. He's still dating his girl. Well, he dated her for a long time. She didn't run away when he had his accident and was in a wheelchair for life. She didn't run. They're married. And through special whatever they did medically, I don't know, and I don't need to know, that's TMI, but they have a daughter now because some procedures they did so that, they could have a child. And she never left him. She married him. But men are assholes. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Men are fucking assholes. And when they know something's wrong with you, they're fucking out of there. And I'm going to tell you something else before I go, because I'm on a goddamn fucking roll right now. And I'm pissed because they're so goddamn fucking ignorant. Okay. Let me take a deep breath. There were hospice nurses that will tell you on YouTube, they will tell you that when a couple is married and the wife is terminal, it is commonplace for the man to stick her ass in a home or in hospice. You got to get the fuck out of here. You have a terminal disease. I ain't got time for that. It's time for me to chase ass. I got to put you in a home because you're starting to put a crimp in my lifestyle, crimp, whatever, in my lifestyle, and I can't do it. However, when the man has a terminal illness, the wife wants to learn everything she can to take care of him. If that don't tell you everything you need to know about most men, honey, you and I got to sit down in person and have some coffee and have a long talk. There's your sign. Okay? And I remember a guy asking me a long time ago when I told him I was honest because I'm stupid. I was stupid back then. And I said, yeah, I do have a disability, but I'm independent. I take care of myself. He goes, well, you can still fuck, right? Because that's all they care about anyway. The majority, not all. The majority of them, that's all they care about, sticking their dick somewhere. And you wonder why HIV is so goddamn high, because y'all can't stop fucking. That's why. If y'all came here for fluff and roses and glitter and Skittles, which are raindrops, you came to the wrong channel, honey. Because I keep it real up here. We go get raw. We all grown. If that hospice situation, that terminal illness situation doesn't give you a wake-up call, baby, well, you and I got to sit down and talk in person. And we got to have a long come to Jesus meeting. There's a coffee house not too far from my house. We can meet there. If you're in Columbia, Missouri, or you plan to be, you and I need to have a sit down talk, because I'm trying to tell you, there was a lady, she's I think she's a singer. She's a celebrity of some sort, but I think she's a singer. And she said years ago, and it struck me odd, but I think she's right. She said, men are not good people. And that's heavy, right? Not all men fit in that category. Not all men are horrible, but there's enough of them that are horrible that it makes all of them look bad. But they're not. There's a tiny percentage of men that are not typical, and thank God for them. Thank God for them. I love you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.